TacticalRab has become synonymous with Call of Duty news. If you keep up with the competitive Call of Duty scene in any capacity, you know that Rab is the go-to source. And what I want to do today is break down one of the key principles behind his success and also outline some strategies and tactics that I've observed on his channel that have contributed to that. And right now, Rab has about 45,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he's been doing this for about 5 to 6 years at this point. But it wasn't until about 2 or so years ago that his channel really started to take off. And if you look at his channel from the videos all the way from the origin of the channel to when it really started to gain traction and the videos after that, it's no accident that his channel started to gain traction. There was a very clear shift that happened. And that shift was from like more strategy and gameplay oriented content to more news and reporting oriented content. Specifically, there was a video that was covering a 100 Thieves roster announcement, I believe when they signed Pharaoh and Kenny, and that video got 10,000 views, which compared to the previous average of about 800 to 1,000 views was a pretty stark difference. And by no means is 1,000 views bad. I would love to get 1,000 views on this video, but just from comparative standards, it was a pretty clear outlier. And since then, Rab has been posting more news and reporting oriented content, like I had said, and his channel has been consistently growing since that shift happened. And you might be wondering, what on earth does this have to do with consistency? Well, if he hadn't been posting for years before that, he might not have stumbled on that new content format. I don't know what the thought process was behind that shift, if he had seen other people do it so he decided to make that shift himself, or if he just kind of figured, I'm gonna test this out and see how it does, and it took off. I don't know what the thought process was behind that, but I would argue that if he hadn't been posting and gaining experience, learning lessons from previous videos, and testing different content types and formats, he might not have stumbled upon that gold mine of content that performed well for him. And that's the thing, a lot of people want to get into YouTube and want to get into content creation in general and think that they're going to come up with this perfect format that performs well right off the bat. Oftentimes, even in situations where it seems like people just blew up overnight, there's still experience there or some sort of testing that happened to ultimately land on that content type or format or topic that works really well. And that seems to be what happened with Rab's channel. And moving more to the present day, that consistency has not gone anywhere. Right now, he's on a twice daily upload schedule, which is absolutely insane. And even with the strategies and tactics we're gonna discuss in the second half of this video, that's still super hard to do. Personally, I do once a week, and that's hard enough as it is. I'll probably get up to twice a week, maybe 3 times a week once school dies down a little bit, but I can't even imagine uploading twice a day. But Rab is able to do it, and it seems to be working for him. There's a few reasons why this twice daily upload strategy seems to be working. The main one is that it just gives people more opportunities to find his content. Every day there's at least 2 videos going out that are getting pushed out by YouTube. Now, I don't know specifically how the twice daily upload strategy affects the algorithm in terms of like videos from 3 days ago, because usually YouTube pushes a new video out for about a week, but I'm not quite sure how that will be impacted by a twice daily upload schedule. But nonetheless, there's still new YouTube videos getting pushed out by the YouTube algorithm on a daily basis. And he does a good job of titling his videos with search terms that people are actually looking for. So odds are at any point in a given day, there's at least one TacticalRab video ranking in search for a certain topic. So it gives viewers an opportunity to find his content, and by keeping this consistency, keeping this cadence, he's able to stay at top of mind and able to stay at the top of the YouTube search list for whatever term it is for that day, whether it's optic, whether it's a certain player's name like Scump or Crim6, whatever, is right when you post a YouTube video, it tends to rank pretty well, and then depending on how it performs, it might stay up there or it might drop down, but because he's posting twice every day, there's always going to be some sort of video at the top of some sort of search term. And of course, let me know if you have any questions on that in the comments down below. And not only are there more opportunities for viewers to discover his content, once they stumble upon a video, there's a lot of opportunities for viewers to keep watching his content. So it's very likely that when they watch that first video, that next video up and suggested is going to be another TacticalRab video. Or even if that's not the case, they can still click on his channel and there is tons and tons and tons of content. So instead of just watching one video and dipping and never watching his content again, or even just watching 3 videos, which is pretty good. If someone stumbles upon your content and watches 3 of your full videos, that's not bad. But even more than that, they can watch 5, 10, 20 videos and not even be near the end of his content. So it racks up more and more daily views on his channel and sort of increases that floor of views per day on his channel. So maybe if he's posting once a week, he might get about 100 or 500 views per day. That number's pretty arbitrary. It's gonna depend on the channel, of course. But if he's getting a set number of views per day, if he increases that cadence to now daily or twice daily, by default, that number will likely go up. And he's also gonna be racking up watch time on his channel. And now that the viewers watched 5, 6, 7 videos, they're gonna be much more likely to get recommended his content in the future. So he's able to create this sort of flywheel of content where you bring someone in once and then they just keep watching and watching and watching and watching because he's posting so consistently. And of course, you don't have to post twice daily to take advantage of this strategy. Even just posting once a week and building up a content library over time is decent. That's what I'm doing right now personally, just with the schedule and my work and whatever. It's what my time allows. Ideally, I would personally like to get up to 3 times a week. I don't think I'll ever get to daily. It just doesn't make sense for me personally, and it might not make sense for you. But the principle still applies. If you're able to build up that content library on your channel, you increase the chances of someone watching one video and then proceeding to watch 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20. Whereas if you post once every other month, there might be 3 videos on your channel and you're kind of screwed. And of course, if you want to watch more videos like this every single Monday at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, or whenever you choose to watch them, feel free to subscribe down below. I'm posting new videos every single week on marketing topics in gaming and esports. Now the question is, how on earth does Rab maintain that consistency? It's easy to say be consistent, post every day, post twice every day. In theory, it makes sense why that would work, but in practice, it's really hard to do. But there are some things on his channel that I've observed that I think are helping him maintain that cadence just a little bit easier. And the main theme here is just having a very standardized format for thumbnails, for the videos. Like if you see a thumbnail on YouTube and you know Rab's content, like you know it's Rab. There's no one else posting thumbnails like that really with the color scheme and the way it's formatted. So it's good from a branding perspective, but it also makes it easy on him because he doesn't have to sit there for hours and hours and hours and hours on end thinking of this perfect thumbnail. And it's easier to replicate from video to video to video. And that same idea applies to the video itself. The videos aren't like these creative masterpieces that take weeks and months to create. Of course, he's posting twice every day, so it has to be a very simple format that he can replicate on a daily basis multiple times per day without having to spend hours thinking of how to make it work. So over time, as he's posted more and more, it seems that he's kind of refined his format, the way he delivers his content, so he can take a topic on a given day and make it fit this format, and there, he has a video. And a lot of YouTubers or content creators in general try to fall into this trap of making every single piece this like absolute creative masterpiece as if you're Michelangelo. And it just ends up causing them more stress and frustration, and they ultimately don't end up posting because it just takes too much time to even think of an idea. But what Rab has done is he's been able to standardize this process, so he's able to create very high quality content, exactly what his audience wants, several times a day, without getting burnt out mentally and kind of coming up with idea fatigue and you can't think of anything, because he doesn't really have to think of anything. The topics present themselves and he has this established content format. And I want to clarify, I don't mean he doesn't have to think of anything in terms of there's no work that goes into it. Of course, it's still insanely difficult. I want to repeat that over and over again because it bears repeating. But having the standardized format, standardized thumbnails makes it even possible to upload at such a cadence. So if you're a creator or running an esports org or whatever the case may be, think about how you can standardize your processes. Like look at Rab, he's been able to standardize his processes, at least from the outside it appears to be the case, without sacrificing content quality. Every video he puts out is very high quality, it's entertaining, it's informative, it accomplishes exactly what it needs to get done, it gives the audience exactly what they want, but there's a process behind it, so he's not pulling his hair out every single video trying to think of this mind-blowing idea. So if you're a creator, think about how you can standardize that process. What formats work well for your content? What topics seem to perform well? What type of thumbnails seem to perform well? And of course, with that consistency over time, you can test and see what does perform well, so you can just continue to refine until you have a bulletproof content strategy. And you're never gonna stop refining. There's always things to test. And when I say bulletproof, again, hyperbole there, don't take me word for word on that. There's always gonna be things you wanna change and make better and adjust. But with that consistency for months and years on end, you can get to a point where you're fairly confident in your process, and not every video has to result in you wanting to rip your hair out because you can't think of an idea. So let me know if that makes sense in the comments down below. Again, there is an article out as well if you'd rather read the information. I'll link that in the description. And also if you're interested in more content around YouTube content strategy, kind of inception here that we're on YouTube talking about YouTube strategy. But I have a video out right now on Optic Gaming's YouTube strategy and why they have the best YouTube channel in the CDL. I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen right now. Just go ahead and click on that. Again, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you in that next video.